The term manual handling covers a wide variety of activities which includes lifting, lowering, pushing, pulling, carrying, moving, holding, restraining, stretching, or bending. If any of these tasks are not carried out appropriately, there is a chance, there is a risk of injury. Today, I'm going to talk about manual handling, a short presentation. Let's start. Dear friends and colleagues, an important question. Why is dealing with manual handling important? Manual handling injuries can have serious implications for the employer and the person who has been injured. They can occur almost anywhere in the workplace. Heavy manual labor, awkward postures, repetitive movements of arms, legs, and back or previous or existing injury can increase the risk. These are the factors why we are going to give importance to manual handling techniques. What we can do to prevent or avoid manual handling injuries. Dear friends and colleagues, to help prevent manual handling injuries, you should avoid such tasks as far as possible. However, where it is not possible to avoid handling a load, employers must look at the risks of that task and put sensible health and safety measures in place to prevent and avoid personal injuries. For any lifting activity, always you have to consider the individual capability, the nature of the load, the environmental conditions, training, and the work organization. Here, another important question. What you will do if you need to lift something manually? You have to reduce the amount of twisting, stooping, and reaching. Avoid lifting from floor level or above shoulder height, especially heavy loads. Adjust storage areas to minimize the need to carry out such movements. Consider how you can minimize carrying distances. Assess the weight to be carried and whether the worker can move the load safely or needs any help. Maybe the load can be broken down to smaller, lighter components. And if you need to use lifting equipment, consider whether you can use a lifting aid such as a forklift truck, electric or hand powered hoist, or a conveyor if available and you are trained and authorized to use it, do so. This is a safer option. Think about storage as part of delivery process. Maybe heavy items could be delivered directly or closer to the storage area. Reduce carrying distances where possible. Is there a clear, properly lighted walkway to the work location or station? Is there a safe stacking area? And don't forget to seek advice on height restriction for safe stacking or storage. You are on the platform of safety, first life. Today we are discussing about how to handle the load manually and safely. Let us discuss now good handling techniques for lifting manually. There are some simple things to do before and during the lift or carrying the load. Number one, remove obstructions from the route. Number two, for a long lift, plan to rest the load midway on a table or bench to change grip. Number three, keep the load close to the waist The load should be kept close to the body for as long as possible while lifting. Number 4, keep the heaviest side of the load next to the body. Number 5, adopt a stable position and make sure your feet are apart with one leg slightly forward to maintain balance. Dear friends and colleagues, make a sensible and gentle approach. Think before lifting or handling the load. First of all, you have to plan the lift. And secondly, you have to check, is the weight marked on the load? Thirdly, if the load is a container, check the weight of the contents and any hazards associated with it. Number 4, can handling aids be used? Number 5, where is the load going to be placed? Number 6, will help be needed with the load? Number 7, remove obstructions such as discarded wrapping materials. Number 8, remove loose objects which are liable to fall whilst moving the load. And number 9, if the load is beyond your capabilities or awkward to handle, get help. These points are very important to handle the load manually and safely. I'm going to explain in detail the terms those are related to manual handling. As you know, stable position is important to handle the load safely. How to adopt a stable position? The feet should be apart with one leg slightly forward to maintain balance alongside the load if it is on the ground. Be prepared to move your feet during the lift to maintain your stability. Avoid tight clothing or unsuitable footwear, which may make this difficult for you. Another important point is to get a good hold on load. Where possible, the load should be hugged as close as possible to the body. This may be better than gripping it tightly with hands only. And don't forget, you have to start in a good posture. At the start of the lift, slight bending of the back, hips, and knees is preferable to fully flexing the back, stooping, or fully flexing the hips and knees. Don't flex the back any further while lifting. This can happen if the legs begin to straighten before starting to raise the load. It is also important to keep the load close to the waist. You have to keep the load close to the body for as long as possible while lifting. Keep the heaviest side of the load next to the body. If a close approach to the load is not possible, try to slide it towards the body before attempting to lift it. Avoid twisting the back or leaning sideways, especially while the back is bent. Shoulders should be kept level and facing in the same direction as the hips. Turning by moving the feet is better than twisting and lifting at the same time. Keep the head up when handling the load. You have to look ahead, not down at the load once it has been held securely, and move smoothly. The load should not be jerked or snatched, as this can make it harder to keep control and can increase the risk of injury. Don't lift or handle more than can be easily managed. Dear friends and colleagues, there is a big difference between what people can lift and what they can safely lift. If you are in doubt, seek advice from your supervisor or get help from your fellow workers during lifting or carrying the load. If you are in trouble, put the load down and adjust. If precise positioning of the load is necessary, put it down first, then slide it into the desired position. Dear friends and colleagues, If I will summarize, then you have to remember these key points. Number one, stand reasonably close to the load. Be sure footing is firm and feet are about 300 mm apart, 30 centimeter apart. Number two, squat down by bending the knees, keeping back as straight as you can. Number three, place hands where they will not slip and grip firmly. Number four, breathe in before lifting. Inflating the lungs helps support the spine. Number five, straighten up with the legs, keeping the back as straight as you can. Number six, hold the load firmly and close to the body. Number seven, ensure view is not impeded or obstructed by the load whilst walking with it. Number eight, lift slowly and smoothly. Avoid jerking motions. And number nine, when two or more persons involved in lifting a load, one of the team members must be nominated to give instruction in order to ensure that each person lifts an equal share and the team works together. Few important points you will never follow during safe manual lifting. Number one, don't twist, turn, or bend your back while lifting. Number two, don't look at your feet when carrying an object or load. Keep your head upright. Don't carry objects or loads that block your vision. And remember, don't carry an object above your shoulder or below your waist. Here, the big question is how to maintain, how to ensure the manual handling safety. Dear friends and colleagues, there are only three steps to identify and solve manual handling problems. Step number one, risk identification. Can task or load be broken down into smaller parts or subtasks? Step number two, risk assessment. Identify risk and give detailed information. Step number three, risk control. Employers must remove or reduce problem from the workplace as per the recommendations of risk assessment. And risk assessment must be prepared based on the information that was provided initially as risk identification. If you are interested to learn about how to identify risk or hazards, how to carry out a sensible risk assessment, and what are the control measures, and how to implement the controls, please, I'll provide the links in the description. You can easily understand and learn in depth about risk identification, risk assessment, and risk controls. And that's all for now. Training session related to manual handling is over. If you have any question, please ask in the comment section. And don't forget to like, comment, and share the video. Hope to see you soon with a new HSC tutorial. Till then, take care, good luck, and Allah Hafiz.